Hello, and welcome to the new series, Understanding Obesity. My name is Mike Smith. In this series, we're going to be taking a deep dive into all the physiological differences between an obese individual and a healthy individual. That way, those of us who are on the heavier end can understand our physiology better in hopes of bettering our health and our lifespan. The very first thing that we're going to have to cover is what is obesity? To many people, obesity or being obese is just another word for being fat. But in the scientific literature, obesity is actually a category of the BMI scale. For those of you who don't understand what the BMI scale is, it stands for the Body Mass Index, and it is your weight divided by your height squared. This is going to give you a number. These numbers are ranked typically between about 18.5 all the way up to 30, 40, and even higher. 18 to 25 is roughly healthy, 25 to 30 is overweight, 30 to 35 is class 1 obesity, 35 to 40 is class 2 obesity, so on and so forth. So now that we know what obesity is, we need to talk about the obesity epidemic and why it's important. So the first thing is, what is the obesity epidemic? The obesity epidemic is the fact that here in America, on average, the population is getting much, much heavier. As we can see in this map, in 1985, most of the states had a 15% or less rate of obesity in the population. By 1997, obesity became more and more common, and we actually had to add another bracket to include states that had an obesity rate of over 20%. By 2001, this trend continued, and we had to add an additional bracket for those states that had an obesity rate of over 25%. By 2005, there were states that had over 30% of the population suffering with obesity. And that brings us to our most recent data, 2023, where we've actually had to add brackets all the way up to 45 to 50% of the population of that state being obese. Another way to view this trend is in this bar chart, where we can clearly see that from 1960 to 2018, we've had a massive increase of the American population living with obesity. This brings us to our most important point. Why should we care about any of this? As the obesity rate has increased, research has shown that obesity comes with many risks. It increases your chance of dying early or all-cause mortality, increases your chance of mental health. It's associated with poor mental health, diabetes, pretty much every leading cause of death in America, obesity is associated with it. However, this does not mean that all hope is lost. That's actually the purpose of this series, is that we can dive into the physiology of obesity and some of the issues that come with it, so we know how we can protect ourselves and live a healthier life. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I appreciate your time. Please like and subscribe, and make sure to tune in for the next episode, where we're going to dive into the BMI scale in detail and decide if it's brilliant or a bunch of bullcrap. Thanks again. Have a nice day.